Now let's meet tonight's first recipient into the NAFB Hall of Fame for 2014. Royce Lee Bodiford was born November 23, 1936, on the family farm in Millsap, Texas, 45 miles west of Fort Worth. Royce began first grade at Millsap School in 1943. He was active in school and his leadership skills were recognized early on. He was class president all 4 years in high school and lettered 3 years in basketball, elected captain his senior year. The Texas farm boy was also active in FFA, working on the family farm, raising cattle and hogs, as well as growing cotton, corn, peanuts, and hay. Royce was elected FFA Green Hand president, chapter president for 2 years, as well as district and area president. But Royce didn't stop there. Following high school graduation in 1955, he was elected Texas State FFA president that summer from a field of 10 finalists. Well, that delayed college for a year as he traveled representing FFA. In the fall of 1956, Royce started his freshman year at Tarleton State, majoring in ag education, and was a member of the ROTC with the rank of cadet major, executive officer of the 1st Battle Group. But his FFA career was far from over. In October 1957, he was elected one of 6 national FFA officers, serving as Southern Region Vice President. College was once again put on hold as Royce traveled the country on an FFA goodwill tour. College may have been delayed, but Royce's education certainly wasn't. As a national FFA officer, he had the opportunity to travel and meet some interesting personalities, such as Vice President Richard Nixon, Ed Sullivan, and Arthur Godfrey. Not too bad for the farm boy from Millsap, Texas. During this time, Royce married his childhood sweetheart, Helen Hayes. While touring with his fellow FFA national officers, Royce spent his honeymoon with 5 hairy-legged boys. Not exactly what he had in mind. Missing Helen, Royce was pleasantly surprised while visiting the home of Raymond Firestone, president of Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, when he received a phone call from his new bride. That call was arranged by Mr. Firestone. In 1958, Royce enrolled at Texas Tech in Lubbock as a college junior. During that year, he was hired by Cotton John Smith at KGNC Radio TV in Amarillo. He had met Smith during his year as state FFA president. Royce started work at KGNC on March 1, 1959, as a third-person assistant in the Farm and Ranch Department. So began a Hall of Fame farm broadcasting career. Royce spent 6 years working with Cotton John.
And he took a liking to me, as they say, and I liked him very much too. Well, actually what happened was, later on at Texas Tech, I was majoring in agricultural education because I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. He calls me up and he says, you know, I have an opening in the Farm and Ranch Department here at KGNC. And he says, I think you might work for me. I think your experience is good. And I said, well, I don't know, I need to get my education. But he said, okay, that's fine. So I called him back after thinking about it a little bit. And went to Amarillo. Helen and I went to Amarillo. And I interviewed and took the job. And then, of course, that's what got me started. And actually, he was my mentor for 6 years and a very tough taskmaster, but I learned a lot from him.
During that time, he earned a BS degree in agriculture at West Texas State University. In April 1965, Royce was hired to be Farm Service Director at KEEL Radio in Shreveport, Louisiana, and worked there for 3 years, before returning to KGNC in 1968 following the untimely death of his mentor, Cotton John Smith. Royce headed up a 3-person department at KGNC. Royce was also becoming more active in NAFB, serving as regional vice president and then later Chats editor. He was elected to national office and advanced through the offices, becoming NAFB president in 1976.
The organization started in 1944, and after several years of struggling, because commercial is what made it go, you know, agricultural advertising, and it seemed like that print media was giving us a hard time back over the years. In the 70s, we developed what was called the sales marketing arm of the National Association of Farm Broadcasters. and we hired a person to work in that who was a former New York advertising agency individual, and he did a good job for us. And over the years with surveys, Known Agriculture made a survey for us at the very beginning, and surveys proving that farm broadcasting did reach farmers and ranchers. And if you had a product to sell, locally you didn't have to worry because people knew locally that that was the truth. But nationally you had to prove that you could reach farmers and ranchers and you could sell their product or sell their service. And I think that probably was one of the highlights. Another thing was added a foundation. Started with seed money from a gentleman, a $1 million foundation amount that he contributed, and then of course added on, is still going this year, to help young people advance in farm broadcasting and to work in the farm broadcasting arena.
Royce's career and NAFB crossed paths again when George Logan was named GM of KGNC Radio FM. The TV side of the station had been sold, and Royce wisely chose to remain with radio. When Logan returned to Topeka in 1977, Royce was named the new general manager at KGNC and strongly supported farm broadcasting and NAFB. Now in management, Royce became even more involved in the community. He served as president of the Amarillo School Board, Kiwanis, Chamber of Commerce, and several other civic organizations. In the mid-1990s, Royce switched from commercial to public broadcasting, becoming general manager of KOCV TV Radio at Odessa College in Odessa, Texas. Again, Royce took an active role in the community, serving as president of the Odessa Council for Arts and Humanities, United Way chairman, and an Odessa city councilman, as well as mayor pro tem. Royce is by no means slowing down. In 2013, he was elected to the Odessa College Board of Trustees. This year, Royce was elected to serve as vice president of the college board. Royce has never strayed from his farm broadcasting roots and gives this advice for those starting their careers in farm broadcasting.
A young person who goes into farm broadcasting today should look at it from a standpoint of this is a career that I want to be in. I really like agriculture. I like related industries to agriculture. I want to be an advocate for those industries. And also, I think it's important that the young person build a loyalty in the audience, and that they always speak the truth, that they always report and can be counted on to be a very truthful person, a person who will go to bat for them, and a person who will get out in the communities that they serve and meet people and just be a part of them and be a friend. And I think probably the most important thing is to put service above self in your community, and then of course when you do that, everything else will take care of it.
What a career. Already a member of several halls of fame, we now welcome Royce Bodiford into the NAFB Hall of Fame.